Good afternoon. It's Miss B from IntellectualRadio.com. Welcome you again. Come. Well, I've got a lot to say today, and we're going to do some serious breathing. So before we get started, you know what we do. Let's breathe in and let it go. Now let's breathe in again. Take all that good energy, good nourishment, all the blessings that are around us, breathe them in. Ah, yes, yes. Welcome to my garden once again, where I want you to come in and sit down and relax. And I want you to be able to take in my conversation and and I hope that there is some good to come. Now today, I've got a little to say. But um, with all of it's good. There's nothing bad. So, but let's begin. My week went. I a visit with cousins, one of my first cousins, and we haven't seen each other in quite a while. And we've both been going through our challenges and appearances. So getting together was really a good thing because it bolstered both of us. It gave us both reaffirming the truth that we both know. Conversation. We're talking and sipping on some coffee. We were at a Starbucks. And through that conversation, I tuned into the music. You know how you're in some place, you don't really pay attention to what's going on, and then all of a sudden your ear catches. Well, my ear caught this music, and the Starbucks was playing the blues. Now that struck both of us because our dads, they love the blues. So I decided, you know how I am. I believe in no accidents, no coincidence. That was our dad's verse saying, all right, girls, y'all got it. Are kind of in on this side of the the pond for us south north of Louisiana. We're like the heads us to get together because there's some things that need to be done. We will get them done because well that's who we are. So okay, take me another breath because this part here is a little uncomfortable for me because I don't my own horn, but I'm going to tell you about this because I should. Received an honor this day. I received a Peace Award. And for those of you who have known me for some time, that's saying a lot. Been as peaceful as I should, but as you know, I am working with me as I come and hopefully help to work with you as well. Was giving through this global initiative. It was World Peace Day on this past Thursday, September 21st. And there were several of us that received the awards, but I was struck in particular with a young woman whose name is, let me find her name. It's Dr. Jonas, I'm sorry. Name is Dr. Inika Jones Tapia. Now, lady is the executive director of the Department of Corrections. Did you hear me? The executive director of the Department of Corrections. Now, she's not a police person. She's not in criminal law. She's a psychologist. So she's not working with the crime. She's working with the mind. And she was the keynote speaker at this global initiative. And I was so impressed with her because she told a story of who was doing some time. She had two children. Unfortunately, her children could not, they weren't with her anymore. And she was dealing with a habit situation, but she had been abused. She had been raped. And out of that rape had come her children. So she was lost. She was in a serious lost state of consciousness. And Dr. Dr. Tapia saw her one day, and she was over in a corner, like cowering in a corner. And she went to her and she said, "Do." And the young woman couldn't even look her in the eyes at that time. But through her and her team and working, that young woman, and the doctor said she was in her car. She was leaving, and she passed by this young woman at the bus stop, and she caught her eye, and she said she looked familiar, and she thought it was the young woman whom she had been working with. So she stopped and she backed up, and she called out for anonymity purposes. She just said, "Sarah." Looked and said, "Oh," and the doctor recognized her to her, and she told her how her life had changed. She was clean. She had gotten her children back. She had started working. She had even gone back to school. And what she was doing now is she was helping others helped. And that just reminded me of, remember that old song, if you can help just one somebody, then your living will not be in vain. Took that and I looked at her, and for me, I can say I deserve a peace award. I look at those students that have passed through the school, that have gone on and are living lives and raising families. And the testament, this is the one thing I'm going to say about some social media. On my page, I get several of my former students who do postings, and it just warms my heart how positive and spiritual a lot of my students have become. So, were that way when they were in school. So, just knowing that they're looking at life, consciousness that is saying what it seems. And so long as we stay on that right path and we believe in what we know is true, right. You know, some of us do life at times, and we get caught up in what I call a loop of our living. We get stuck and just can't seem to recognize how to break the cycle. Something that was sent to me by Reverend Jackie, and I'm going to read it to you. Now, if you don't know who Reverend Jackie is, that's Reverend Jacqueline Trish Atkins, whom I will always have words from probably with every show, because she is one of my spiritual. It's called a meditation. Fear. Fear. Because too many of us, many times, fear in the absolute greatness is the absolute greatest barrier, progress, and capacity for action. Destination itself is a form of fear and is most common form that it takes. As you begin any new undertaking, you are likely at one point or another to find yourself by fear. Depending on your nature, you may experience this constantly or at least more often than you would like. I think about that young lady in the corner, ripped with fear and anguish. And I probably at that time she saw no way, no light at the end of her tunnel. Was I am providing here of Napoleon Hill's immensely on fear from his 1937 book, Rich. Anytime that you feel plagued by fear, I want you to reflect on this short passage. It is the absolute truth. Serve as a beacon to guide you through the storms of fear. Fear should never be bargained with or capitulated to. The appeal from your personality destroys the possibility of accurate thinking, diverts concentration of effort, stifles persistence, turns your willpower into nothingness, erases ambition, clouds your memory, and invites failure in conceivable form. Fear kills love, eliminates the finer emotions of the heart, and friendships, and leads to sleeplessness, misery, and unhappiness. You know, when you're not feeling your best, you know, you don't want to get up out the bed, you don't want to do anything on, and you've got to wake up and get it over it. So, and destructive is the emotion of fear, that it is literally worse than anything that can befall you. If you suffer from fear of poverty, reach a decision to get it all together. Whatever wealth you can accumulate without worry. The loss of love, reach a decision to get along without love. Not sure about that one. If necessary, if you experience a general sense of worry, reach a decision that nothing that life has to offer is worth that kind of thought. This places ultimate truth at your back. Remember, the greatest of all remedies for fear is a desire for achievement, useful action in your aim. Well, fear can be a humdinger. I know, I've been there. And there are times that I still get my little tinges. But I also know that whenever I feel like appearances are going to get the best of me, I remember. I remember whose and who I am. I remember that I can say, and you know I'm going to say it from now on until I'm gone. And that is, I am love, I am joy, I am one with the one that sent me. When that came to me, that has become like my anthem. Whenever stuff starts to go the way stuff tries to go, I go, okay, okay, you know you love. Do that, I know I've got my joy. My dad used to tell me years ago, don't let anyone take your joy. So, not just my joy, because in order to get that joy, you have to understand and go within and find your peace. Somebody is around you and they're like tiptoeing and they're saying stuff, and you go, okay, okay, you have to take that breath. I'm going to let you go there. I am not going to give you the power, because that's what we do. When people take us from our peace or from us, don't give it to them. They don't deserve it. If they don't want the peace, if they don't want the peace that you're giving out and you're shining through, then you need to step away. Said you should always give respect, because if you give respect, then you're going to get respect. And if you don't get your respect, then you're supposed to go, well, excuse me, did I do something to you? I'm going to take my breath now, because you know this is going to take me into this other part. All right. I'm going to talk about this because it's all good. One of my favorite things is football. I love me some football. So, you know, when the whole situation came up with, we're not going to watch football because of how Kaepernick is being treated. I understood that, and I really worked with that. But God is good all the time. 45 go and do to us? He had to go to Alabama, give a speech, show his true colors in front of Americans. And when it comes to something like football, you kind of become you're the football fan first. Being an American is right up there because that's like apple pie, just like baseball. He stands and he says that if you don't think that if you should take a knee, then those owners, they should fire those. I'm not going to say what he said because y'all know what he said. Fire 'em. And he made gestures, and he was just downright ugly. Now, God don't like ugly. So what happened? Our commissioner of football, and he is not necessarily one of my favorite people, but I'm going to give him a couple of points this time. He said, no, that's not right. Well, because they need them for the money, okay? Well, let's just get that straight. However, he didn't go along with it. And not only that, the coaches and the owners and the players. And I'm going to tell you something about this taking a knee. There is not a thing disrespectful to taking a knee. I was raised a Catholic. Taking a knee is a genuflection. That's giving honor to God. Respecting your flag because you take a knee. You're taking a knee and you're still giving honor to your flag and your country. Take joy in I saw on a Twitter, and everybody else is either holding arms, taking a knee, but they were all in solidarity. They had some little football player. He's over there stretching and doing a jig on the side. I said, okay, now that's not right. There's respect. And this was important. And he didn't quite get that. But the rest of the league, I take my hat off to them. But I send out my love to them because they stood for what was going on. They stood for the right. That's what we have. We have the right to express ourselves in a peaceful manner. Ever the injustices that are going on within our world and our affairs. Yesterday, and the Bears won. I'm calm, but this is the first game they won this season. I was just so happy, and I really did not think they were going to beat the Steelers. Okay, I'm getting off. It's because 45 is going to do us a big favor. And getting out of there is another big favor. But when you do something that is so dishonorable, the honorable will stand up. Even those that are borderline, they will stand up because they know stuff stinks. Now, I'm going to read something from a book that I've just recently gotten. It's called The Universe is Calling. And as we very well know, the universe is calling. And we are going through all kinds of things listening to the universe. One thing you got to understand. Remember I talk about how so you think, so you are. Understand, as well as we are trying to think and as well as we are thinking, people like 45 that are thinking in other ways. We have to make sure that we have the power of our thought that is going to outweigh anything that they can come up with. And we have to know that with our thoughts and with our power of thoughts, it's somewhere because the universe is going to right itself all the time. No matter what happens, we will be all right. I want you to listen to this. Come with me to my favorite retreat of mind. Sit with me in a lovely mountain meadow in a field of golden poppies and reflect with me thought. As I snap my fingers, imagine that the earth disappears from beneath us and we are in space with the moon and the sun looming large before us. I snap my fingers again and the moon disappears and again the sun disappears. Now we are deep in a great vault of the universe. We are within a canopy of stars around us on all sides, and they appear to be sending their shafts of light to us like supporting hands of the universe. Remember when I talked about the eclipse and that analogy of the moon going past the sun? Let me tell you, the shining that we are doing and the shining that we are expressing can't be covered up by the darkness. In fact, you get too close, you might get burned by our sun. We are the bright light that keeps everything going. So no matter how dark, God's got this. So if God's got this, we got this. Back. I'm going to tell you about, remember my Parker High School reunion dinner dance? Well, that was this past Saturday. I'm going to tell you about that, and I'm going to read something to you before I go off the air today that expresses exactly how I feel. And when you really hear the words, you'll know exactly how we all should be feeling. This is Miss B on IntellectualRadio.com, and you are in my garden.
A licensed barber is a career and an art, one that will always allow you the freedom of choice and an opportunity to reach your goals. McCoy Barber College offers a focused 1,500-hour course in barbering, and when completed, you qualify to get a license by the state of Illinois as a professional barber. The barber industry needs sincere individuals who want to become licensed barbers. Now, as that's you, visit McCoyBarberCollege.net and see how you can change your life by becoming a licensed barber. Or if you prefer speaking with a McCoy advisor, give us a call at 773-221-6700. Someone is available to speak with you right now. 773-221-6700. McCoy Barber College, where legends are created and lives are changed. Experience an evening of soul jazz benefiting Chauvel and More in FP, the producer of the Gold Rush Women's Conference. Join us on Saturday, November 4th at the Spa Theater and Performing Arts Center to hear the soulful sounds of Diarrhea and her live band featuring vocalist Tina Crawley. For more information, including ticket purchase, visit www.goldrushwomensconference.com.
Welcome back. This is Miss B in the garden. I wanted to read from you from my PowerPoints of Prosperous Living at my church, the Power Circle Congregation, pastored by the Reverend Dr. Joseph E. Hill. I like to say that like the church lady. Um, Here we go. Love yourself first. This is by Joe Lindsay. As yourself. Galatians 5 and 14. When you hear love yourself first, do you think that it is just selfish or a good idea? The instructions given on an airplane directs us to put on our oxygen mask before putting one on our child. But this is important. Instruction is because you can't help anyone if you are unconscious. Government is acknowledging that caregivers need to help avoid burnout. You are very important and are deserving of love. Someone else's needs before our own, we are doing ourselves a disservice. Think about what we can do to take care of ourselves. Pray, get enough rest, eat healthy foods, exercise, educate yourself on some topic. Once you are treating yourself better, it will be time to focus on the other people in your life. Easier to care for others when you aren't angry or resentful of meeting their needs, but not your own. And we affirm we must love and care for ourselves before we're able to love and care for others. Now, I say that because with everything that's going on, uh, one of the things that happened for me this week is I've known a couple of people that have lost some people that have made their transitions. And one of the things that we always need to remember is that we have to take care of ourselves. We can't let whatever the appearances are around us dictate. We can't let people around us what we do. Not love ourselves, then we are of no help to them when they're struggling with their love of themselves. I don't know, for those of you that can see it, I want you to see this lovely, it's petite, but it's truly gorgeous flower or floral arrangement by my wonderful friend Giselle. She did an event this weekend, which was for one of her good friends, a birthday celebration. And I wish that I had the ability to show you the decorations that she put together. They were gorgeous. Now, if you are friends of mine and you go to my page, you'll be able to see some of her decorations. Or if you go to Flowers, you'll also be able to see some of them there as well. Now, Saturday, which I have been promoting, we had our Parker High School reunion dinner dance. And it was a lovely affair. And we always get to see people. And I read that about the loving yourself and the take caring of yourself also because one of the couples that has been coming for a long time, um, the husband, he's going through serious health challenges, but he still has a wonderful mind and spirit. And they were there as they have been for these last, my goodness, at least 10 or more years that I've been going. And he has his difficulties getting around, but he's there and he's present, and he has a very loving wife. And I really take my hat off to her. But I look at her and I see peace, and I see love. I don't see someone that is doing something, but oh, I got to do this. No, I don't see that. I see love. And she's such a beautiful person inside and out. But I just wanted to mention them because as we were sitting there, my friend found out that someone had made their transition in his family. So we went through that night with that, but he was okay with that because they have had their challenges for quite a while. But the thing is, you just never know. You just never know when anyone's time is going to come. And that's why you've got to take care of yourself. That's why you got to look in that mirror and you've got to say, morning, God. You've got to say, thank you, God. You've got to find peace so that everything in your life, your world, your affairs is in divine order. And the only way that I know how to do that is to sit and be quiet and let the spirit within come without, to turn on and tune out anything that's not working for me or anything that is not serving me for my highest good. When my father made his transition, we had students, he's a musician, and he put together like a trio for the service. And I told him, the kind of things that I wanted to hear. I think I had a couple, but as the end of service came, and when we were leaving out, playing a song by Stevie Wonder, and that song is still played today. And every time I hear it, I feel like my dad is giving me a, "Hey baby, how you doing?" Yeah. And with everything that was going on this weekend, I went and pulled the lyrics because I wanted you to hear these words. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot of words, but I wanted you to hear some of these words because this is what I'm talking about. This is all that I'm trying to do when I come and I sit with you. And it's the lyrics from As around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebuds in early May. Just as hate knows love's the cure, your mind is sure that I'll be loving you always, that I'll be loving you always. As now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing will grow older every day. As all is born is new, do know what I say is true, that I'll be loving you always. Until the rainbow burns the stars out of the sky, ocean covers every mountain high, dolphin flies and patriots live at sea, until we dream of life and life becomes a dream. Did you know that true love asks for nothing? Her acceptance is we pay. Did you know that life has given love a guarantee, just as time knew to move or since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change? Just as kindness knows no shame, know through all your joy and pain, be loving you always. As today I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I'll know deep in my mind the love of me I've left behind. Be loving you always. Until the day is night and night becomes a day. Until the trees and seas just up and fly away. Until the day that 8 times 8 times 8 is 4. Until the day that is the day that is no more. Did you know that you're loved by somebody? Until day the earth starts turning right to left, just for the sun denies itself. You forever. Until dear Mother Nature says her work is through. Day that you are me, you. Until the rainbow burns the stars out in the sky. We all know sometime life hates and troubles can make you wish you were born in another time and space. But you can bet your lifetimes that, and twice it's double, that God knew exactly where he wanted you to be placed. But when you say you're in it but not of it, you're not helping to make this earth a place sometimes called hell. Change your words, truth, and then change that truth into love. And maybe our children, grandchildren, and their great grandchildren will tell, loving you. This is the master, y'all. I don't know of anyone that puts words together, does. That song was written a long time ago in the 70s. And that song, when it comes on, sung by the young and old alike, because the message is universal, because the truth is universal, because love is universal. And no matter what goes on, God will be loving you always. And when you look in the mirror, you will be loving you always. Now, I have to remind you, I don't know if you heard at the top of the break, the Urania was playing and you had that promo. I'm almost ready for Earl to play that promo again since I went off on Stevie. Can I do that, Earl? Yes, please.
Experience an evening of soul jazz benefiting Chauvel and More NFP, the producer of the Gold Rush Women's Conference. Join us on Saturday, November 4th at the Spa Theater and Performing Arts Center to hear the soulful sounds of Diarrhea and her live band featuring vocalist Tina Crawley. For more information, including ticket purchase, visit www.goldrushwomensconference.com.
All right. I want him to play that again because I wanted to bring that to the present. Because I want you to know, for me, all you have to do is inbox me. But this is going to be a wonderful event. And it's just like a before our Gold Rush Women's Conference. And it's the first time we've had a benefit of this nature. And that's due in part with the lovely Diarrhea, who has become part of our Gold Rush Women Conference family. So she and Reverend Jackie are really working together to make this one of the best conferences that we've had. And I no doubt it will be because all of our conferences are wonderful. And goes, remember, it's April 19th through the 21st. Please get in touch with me because I have registration forms. I want you to be there. On November 4th, I want you to be there as well so that you can help support. Going to be a fabulous conference. And don't forget, Miss Avery Sunshine is going to be joining us on this conference along with our wonderful speakers. And I have to give one more promo. Our Circle congregation, who is going to be celebrating, which is going to be celebrating 22 years. 22 years of standing on principle. 22 years of teaching how to be peace, how to be love, and how to be joy, and how to know that you are sent you. That's where I get my strength from. And at any time, if you want to come and join me for Sunday service, I'm there at 10 o'clock thereabouts every Sunday. November 11th, holding our 22-year celebration. And you can also inbox me with that ticket information as well. Today has been for me because so many things have been going around that, my pot is being stirred. So I'm looking at in the near future, I will be giving you of my buds just bursting out all over. But I want you to stay in your meditation and claim the things that are meant for your highest good and claim the things that are not to go away. Find that peace and be invigorated by your joy. Be the best that you can be. Next time, this is Miss B on IntellectualRadio.com, and thank you for coming into my garden.
licensed barber is a career and an art, one that will always allow you the freedom of choice and an opportunity to reach your goals. McCoy Barber College offers a focused 1,500-hour course in barbering, and when completed, you qualify to get a license by the state of Illinois as a professional barber. The barber industry needs sincere individuals who want to become licensed barbers. Now, if that's you, visit McCoyBarberCollege.net and see how you can change your life by becoming a licensed barber. Or if you prefer speaking with a McCoy advisor, give us a call at 773-221-6700. Someone is available to speak with you right now. 773-221-6700. McCoy Barber College, where legends are created and lives are changed. Experience an evening of soul jazz benefiting Chauvel and More NFP, the producer of the Gold Rush Women's Conference. Join us on Saturday, November 4th at the Spa Theater and Performing Arts Center to hear the soulful sounds of Diarrhea and her live band featuring vocalist Tina Crawley. For more information, including ticket purchase, visit www.goldrushwomensconference.com.